Barron Trump has been receiving a lot of attention, which he didn't ask for, thanks to his father's political ambition and achievement. However, little is known about the tallest member of the Trump family. Here are some things very few people know about Barron Trump. The youngest and most well-known son of the Trump family was born on March 20, 2006, in New York City to ex-U.S. President Donald Trump and his third wife, ex-fashion model Melania Trump, of Slovenian descent. When he was conceived, his father was 60 and his mother was 32 years old, just 6 months after his parents' wedding. He is the couple's only child, though he has older half-siblings. Donald named his unborn child Barron William Trump, after hotel heir William Barron Hilton. He says he has always loved the name, but hasn't been able to give it to any of his sons. His wife loved the name and started calling him Barron even before his birth. Donald was ready to change the name at the last minute, but because of Melania's objection, the name was retained. Melania labored for 8 hours before finally delivering her baby boy, who weighed 8 ibs, 8 ahs at birth. She later claimed her 8 hours of labor was very easy, even though her husband was not present in the delivery room. He said he didn't come in because he hoped it would help lessen her pressure during delivery. Barron spent his early life with his parents in Trump Tower in New York City. Barron had always been lavished with luxurious living. Even as a baby, he had an entire floor to himself and a golden stroller that matched the gilded walls of Donald Trump's Manhattan penthouse, which Ellen DeGeneres gifted to him. Barron was born into wealth, and his mother wasn't going to spare any expense. But if you needed further testament that Melania wasn't joking, try this one on for size. The then 7-year-old's mother also admitted that, at a time, she applied her own line of caviar-infused moisturizer to his skin after he took his nightly bath. Unfortunately for the two of them, this tradition may have been short-lived, as the skincare line fell apart shortly after its high-profile launch. According to his mother, as a child, he liked planes and helicopters a lot. He was even more fascinated by painting, often painting the walls of his playroom with his drawings. As he grew older, he started to want to do other things, like become a golfer and businessman, just like his famous father. The cool thing was that Barron remained very detailed at drawing. Even during travels, he would recall things he had seen and try to recreate them. Barron never got to meet his father's parents, Fred and Marianne Trump. Donald himself has spoken fondly of his parents. "I had a great mom. I love my mom, and she loved me." Fred Trump died several years before Barron was born in 1999. He had been hospitalized for a bout of pneumonia at 93, soon after he passed away. Marianne, too, died a year after her husband's. Unfortunately, Barron is the only Trump heir who didn't get to meet his father's parents. Comedian Rosie O'Donnell, who's had a feud with Donald Trump for years, had a poem on her website about her own experiences with her daughter Dakota, who was diagnosed with high-functioning autism, and a suggestion that Barron might have similar symptoms. In 2016, she tweeted, "Per WNTW, Barron Trump autistic? If so, what an amazing opportunity to bring to the autism epidemic." She based that tweet of the fact that she saw a YouTube video dubbed, "Is Barron Trump autistic? Gauss stop the bullying." But Barron's mother was not going to sit and watch her son get called what he wasn't. So she hired a lawyer to sue the person who made the "Stop the Bullying" video if it wasn't removed. Portions of a letter by Melania's lawyer leaked by TMZ read, "The video allegedly seeks to stop the bullying of Barron Trump." Not true. The video did instigate further bullying by Rosie O'Donnell and others. O'Donnell later tweeted an apology, per Global, stating, "I am sorry for the pain I caused. It was not my intent. I am truly sorry." Some people can't seem to understand why that speculation came up. Granted, the only encounters most people have with Barron are public appearances, which isn't enough to conclude if a person has a medical issue or not. And Barron seems to be outwardly okay, showing no symptoms of autism. Barron could reportedly speak English, Slovene, and French by the age of 3, but by the time he turned 9, he was only speaking Slovene and English fluently. To this day, he still speaks to his mother in Slovenian. This has been observed by the Secret Service, given that it is a basic family thing. It was prevalent while the family was in the White House, and perhaps it was necessary since no one in the Secret Service could understand what they were saying. But it wasn't the SS alone that couldn't understand the son and mother. Even the father wasn't getting in on the conversation. Donald never learned his wife's language, and his punishment was that he never knew what they were talking about. However, this didn't affect the relationship between father and son. When Barron was born, Donald himself was excited to be a father once again, holding his youngest son and repeatedly kissing him on the head. He would often be fascinated by Barron's delicate hands. He also started spending time each morning watching television and reading newspapers with 5-week-old Barron. Even though Donald was never in a rush to change Barron's diapers, it was obvious that he loved his son. And as Barron grew older, he and his father enjoyed memorable time together, spending times together mostly at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, where they would play golf, eat dinner together, and enjoy family time. According to his father, Barron is a good kid, a very good athlete, a good-looking kid, and a great student. Barron was just 9 years old when his father assumed office as President of the United States. He was hesitant to leave his home and school in New York because he disliked the change of location. So, Barron and his mom stayed at Trump Tower for the first 5 months of Donald Trump's presidency, so that Barron could finish his studies at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School in Manhattan, Upper West Side, New York City. In his final year at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School, Barron went on an excursion trip with his entire 5th grade students of about 80 students, along with teachers and Secret Service agents, to the White House. They were received by Barron's father, Donald Trump. They also toured the nation's capital and stayed overnight at a hotel before returning to New York City. His mother had to take her time to explain and console him before they could finally move to the White House. He and his mom moved into the White House on June 11, 2017. The last son of a president to reside in the White House was John F. Kennedy Jr. in 1963, who was just a baby when his father assumed office. Barron also assumed the position of a first son after 61 years of JF Kennedy Jr. Other presidents that preceded his father either had all-female kids or already had grown-up kids before assuming the office of the president. It was announced in May that Barron would be enrolled in St. Andrew's Episcopal, a prep school in Potomac, Maryland. This deviates from the pattern laid by other presidents before Trump, including Obama, Clinton, and Bush, who all sent their children to Sidwell Friends, a private Quaker school located in D.C. and Bethesda, Maryland, during their stay in the White House. Tuition at St. Andrews cost the Trumps about $40,000 a year, the only school-based center for mind-brain education science in the country. This means part of its curriculum is based on a rapidly growing multidisciplinary field that aims to translate new developments in neuroscience and psychology into better classroom practices. The school also boasts of famous alumni, like eBay founder Pierre Omidyar. The school has been praised for its diverse community and commitment to academic excellence, which is why the Trumps probably chose it. With a range of impressive facilities, which includes a dance studio and theater, a dark room, a massive library, and lots of space for soccer fields, basketball courts, and a fitness room. Barron had the opportunity to focus on sports, if that was what he wanted. Following the end of Donald's presidential term in 2021, it was revealed that Barron would be attending the Oxbridge Academy in Palm Beach, Florida, where he will be graduating with the class of 2024. In 2017, then 11-year-old Barron Trump joined DC United's under-12 team as a midfielder. Apparently, his love of soccer has only grown. According to a video posted on Sports Bible, Barron's play on the pitch has earned him the admiration of soccer fans. Barron also impressed professionals with his knowledge of the game, especially former DC United striker Patrick Mullins, who had to confess and say about Barron, he was very knowledgeable about soccer, knew about DC United, and was interested to know more. By 2018, it was beginning to look like Barron was not just interested in soccer, but athletics too. While many people were saying he could even venture into American football, his father didn't feel the same way. According to Donald, "I just don't like the reports that I see coming out having to do with football." In 2019, Donald, during an interview, called the sport really tough and dangerous. His reason? "I thought the equipment would get better, and it has. The helmets have gotten far better, but it hasn't solved the problem. I've heard NFL players saying they wouldn't let their sons play football, so it's not totally unique, but I I would have a hard time with it. If his father is not thrilled at the prospect of Barron playing certain sports, well, it will be a reach to expect to play those sports. It is not known if Barron Trump has ever taken an IQ test, but he likely has a high IQ inherited from his parents. Melania Trump likely has a very high IQ as she speaks 6 different languages, making her a polyglot, and also received an EB-1 green card, also referred to as an Einstein visa. This particular visa type is reserved for aliens of extraordinary ability, who are on top of their fields. Donald Trump has self-reported his IQ to be one of the highest, although to date the exact score has not been verified. In September 2019, then-President Donald Trump made an announcement that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration would soon issue what he called some very strong recommendations that have to do with flavored e-cigarette use, via CNN. This ban was issued as a result of multiple deaths due to lung diseases thought to be related to vaping, as well as another reported 450 lung illnesses seemingly related to the product. Even his wife also tweeted, "I am deeply concerned about the growing epidemic of e-cigarette use in our children." She also added, "We need to do all we can to protect the public from tobacco-related disease and death and prevent e-cigarettes from becoming an on-ramp to nicotine addiction for a generation of youth." During a follow-up press conference discussing the dangers of vaping with Melania sitting quietly by his side, Donald explained that this issue first came to his attention because of the First Lady's involvement. Then, without mentioning Barron Trump by name, Donald referred to his 13-year-old son in a peculiar way. "She's got a son, together, that is a beautiful young man, and she feels very, very strongly about it." This caused a buzz on Twitter, with users speculating that Melania caught Barron vaping. There has since been neither confirmation nor denial of Barron's alleged vape use. However, Donald later stated of the couple's parenting on the issue, "We haven't told him anything but, don't vape, don't vape." Before giving his parents some headaches, as almost all children do, a younger Barron has always looked good for the camera. Even as a child, he has been seen wearing suits. He wore one to the launch of his half-sister Ivanka Trump's book, The Trump Card, Playing to Win in Work and Life, when he was only 3.5 years old. His mother pointed out, "He doesn't mind putting on a suit, but not every day, and he likes to dress up in a tie sometimes like Daddy." Now, an older Barron isn't dressed by his mother anymore. People have noticed his peculiar style. As you would expect, Barron has a high sense of fashion, even though he is usually seen in suits. He can afford to look his best after being born into a billion-dollar business family. He has been noticed investing in sneakers. In 2020, for example, Barron was reported to really like New Balance products. It is believed that he not only owns a pair of New Balance sneakers with the glow-in-the-dark feature, but also a type of the brand's 574 core line, in black, camel suede, navy suede, and gray. Aside from New Balance, Barron has also been seen wearing Nike shoes. Although his father had said a few unkind words to the company for hiring former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who knelt down during the national anthem as a sign of protest, something which made some hardcore patriots very angry. Clearly, Barron buys what he likes and is unconcerned about the politics. At some point, Donald said that his son is a bit of a tech genius. He also said that he sometimes locks his computer only to find Barron using it moments later. So, it doesn't seem like that outlandish of a theory that Barron was doing some gaming without parental consent. In 2020, while Barron didn't have any public social media accounts at the time, a rumor spread on social media that Barron's secret Roblox profile had been discovered. That being said, there's no evidence that he was the owner of the Roblox account for Jumpy Turtle, a fan of anime, and the Roblox pet adoption game, Adopt Me. The user's profile also read, "I'm nice and friendly, I don't like toxic people." In 2022, Donald said concerning Barron's tech skills, "He understands technology better than his dad anyway. He can make his computer sing." Barron was young and barely grasping what was happening when his father got into office, but it didn't stop critics from bullying the boy. He faced different harassment and bullying from social media users about his appearance and demeanor as early as his father's inauguration. However, in an admirable display of respect, Former first child Chelsea Clinton quickly defended Donald Trump's youngest son after the inauguration in 2017. Barron Trump deserves the chance every child does, to be a kid, she shared in a tweet. She also stood up for Barron in August of that year after the Daily Caller criticized his wardrobe. It's high time the media and everyone leave Barron Trump alone and let him have the private childhood he deserves, she wrote in another tweet. Though their parents are rivals in politics, this did not hinder other former first children to jump in defense of Barron amid social media criticism when targeted by mean, spirited commentators. Clinton wasn't the only former first child to defend Barron's honor either. Jenna Bush Hager told People that the unwarranted criticism from the Daily Caller made her angry. The truth is, obviously, Barron Trump didn't ask his dad to run for president, she said. Donald Trump is held in disdain by a lot of mainstream media, Hollywood celebrities, and academia. That's no big deal. Donald Trump is a controversial figure, no doubt, but the unfortunate thing is, why drag an innocent child into the mud? His mother, too, didn't just let things get to her child. She ensured it was her job to keep him out of the political light. Nobody knew this until his father reacted to a question about him. My Barron. My tall Barron. He's very tall. My beautiful Barron. Handsome. He is handsome. But my beautiful Barron had it. He recovered like so fast. While Donald's simple expression would be twisted and made fun of for political reasons, it didn't change the fact that Barron was actually sick with the disease. The WHO announced the global pandemic in early 2020, and by October, then 14-year-old Barron had gotten infected. His mother wrote, "I couldn't help but think, what about tomorrow or the next day? My fear came true when he was tested again, and it came up positive. Luckily, he is a strong teenager and exhibited no symptoms. In one way, I was glad the three of us went through this at the same time so we could take care of one another and spend time together. He has since tested negative." His father, however, had to be hospitalized at the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, while mother and child remained quarantined in the White House, using vitamins and healthy dieting to get better. When Donald got better, he believed Barron wasn't even aware that he had the disease. But as a child with a strong immune system, he was able to successfully fight it off quite quickly. Unlike his older siblings, he is commonly spotted traveling with his parents, boarding and disembarking Air Force One or the president's helicopter. He's been spotted returning from a holiday trip to Mar-a-Lago. In 2018, the Trumps spent the Thanksgiving weekend in Florida at Mar-a-Lago. When 12-year-old Barron got off the plane with his parents, it was one of the first times he appeared to be as tall as his father. Now, Barron is a really tall boy who keeps growing. He has astonishing growth in height. He towers over both his mother and father at 6 feet and a few inches, despite being just 16 years old. To put things into perspective, his father, Donald, is 6'2", and his mother, Melania, is 5'11". Most teenage boys stop growing taller by age 16, but some continue to grow well into their late teens. By 17, it was clear that Barron had an extra inch or two of growth left in him. Standing at 6 feet 7 inches, it was a wonder to see him grow so tall. This has caused speculation in the media, with accusations that Trump is not his biological father. Following the illegitimacy conspiracy, Food Network host John Henson shared in a now-deleted tweet on 2020's Father's Day, insinuating uncertainty about Barron Trump's paternity. "I hope Barron gets to spend the day with whoever his father is." This comment referred to a statement the former president made about his wife's advocating for the ban on e-cigarettes to protect teenagers. Referring to Melania, Donald said, "She's got a son," instead of, "We have a son," as many would expect. His choice of words caused many celebrities who didn't like Donald in the first place to push the theory around for a long time. Barron has been born into a great life, no doubt. From flashy birthday gifts to whole floors in a skyscraper owned by his father, prestigious education and holidays in exclusive places, Barron has also been subjected to danger. In August 2023, a Chicago woman was arrested after she sent what was recorded as death threats to the headmaster of Barron's school in Palm Beach. This was after his father's tenure as president. According to NBC Chicago, Tracy Fiorenza stated in an email to the school head teacher, "I will state that I will shoot Donald Trump Sr. and Barron Trump straight in the face at any opportunity I get." She also added that she would slam a bullet into the 17-year-old Barron's head. It makes sense that the Secret Service interrogated Fiorenza before her court appearance because these threats were taken very seriously. The Trump family has not responded to the proceedings. Barron and his mother are instead focusing on in his college search. But of course, a threat to the life of her son is not something Melania would joke with. We are certain there are many measures been put in place to ensure Barron's college life goes on without a scratch, especially now that his father is running for president of the U.S. for the second time.